Okay,
What's our intro going to be?
welcome to the Movie League.
Okay, who's going to say that?
I think we just said it.
Oh, okay. Alright, is this a test run?
No, I don't think so. We'll just get into it.
Alright, are we going to crop it?
No.
Oh. Just go with
I mean,
it.
the logo's already there.
Yeah, but still. Alright. Let's, so for our starting episode, we're going to do The Last Jedi. Because I think people have a lot to say about it.
It was definitely a polarizing film for a lot of people.
Polarizing as in like it burnt your eyeballs, or...
I think that's more like ionizing.
Okay.
But I think it's inspired a lot of people to actually start doing their own YouTube channels.
Yeah,
and I
for
think
sure.
that's definitely been the starting point for us.
Yeah.
Because we've always wanted to do something like this, but The Last Jedi was the last tipping point, really. Where
Yes.
we just thought, you know what, let's just do it.
Yeah.
If they're going to start ruining our childhood, we might as well start talking about it. So
Having a whinge.
having a whinge about it, yeah.
Yeah.
And being, as we love movies and film and have always loved it. I mean, we both worked at Blockbuster together.
Yeah.
So I think that kind of gives us a little bit of insight into the
Yeah.
film world. And we've both studied.
Yep. Film, acting.
So we come from a film and acting background
Yeah.
in terms of studies. So yeah, let's get straight into tearing this one a new one.
I think we should.
Okay,
Yeah. Got
Cool.
a lot to say.
definitely. So I think the first
Where to
thing I
start?
wanted to talk about is that the movie was really, really awesome until that part where Poe Dameron was speaking to General Hux. And I think that kind of just ruined the tone for the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
Because I remember, like, in The Force Awakens, there was a similar thing that happened between Kylo and Dameron,
Yeah.
but that was well executed. It didn't go on forever. It was, like, really nice and funny at the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
And, like, you could just have a laugh and keep going.
It's good when they, put a tiny little bit of humour in there just to kind of like, I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a light piece of humour in a really
Yeah.
dark scene, and then it just moved on. It didn't drag on forever.
Yeah. Oh, this movie definitely dragged.
So,
For me, anyway.
and then, like, the part, like, it was all really visually stunning with the bombers,
Yeah.
when the bombers were going over the dreadnought, except for the fact that there's no gravity in space.
Yes. Very true point.
And now I know that, like, everyone's coming out saying, oh, well, it wasn't anything to do with gravity, they were magna bombs, so they were magnetic, but they fell.
Yeah, but you shouldn't, like, in a film, you shouldn't have to later on explain yourself.
Exactly.
You shouldn't. Like, that's just, yeah.
But they did. It was a magna bomb, so they were magnetic.
It's because they realised they stuffed up.
But
And they were like, yeah, this is why. This is why.
But they fell, like, gravity was there.
Yeah.
So,
Which doesn't make sense. There's
Go-
a lot of things that
go
don't make
figure.
sense.
well, another thing that doesn't make sense is Leia flying. Like, that was another kind of point that kind of stuck out as
Yeah.
a what the fuck
Yeah.
moment.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Are we going to swear in these, or are we allowed to? Nah, fuck it.
Well, might as well.
Yeah. And then going to, like, Holdo not telling Poe the plan, or what the eventual plan was. It
Yeah.
was kind of like it seemed like a story point, basically just to send Finn and Rose
Yeah.
on a
On a
pointless
little,
adventure.
little side.
'Cause
romantic.
apart from that, it was pointless. Like, if Holdo had told Dameron right then and there, like, that never needed to happen.
Yeah. Why didn't they, like, all get involved in the plan and then... Because, like, having more people involved obviously would have gotten, like... I don't know, there would have been less issues with it.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I find a lot of people are really tearing this movie a new one, and they're using excuses like, you know, it's too feminist, which is really annoying because I didn't see it that way.
No,
Like,
not at all.
I didn't look at it. I just saw it as a bad movie.
Yeah.
Like,
But, like, that's another point that I had with it, and I know quite a few people have had this point, is that it's overly politically correct. Like, it's just gotten to this point now where there's so much uproar in making films that they've got to try and, like, tiptoe around
yeah,
having, like, certain things that will make everyone happy.
yeah,
Whereas it doesn't, like, back in the day, it didn't need to be. Like, the original ones were not, like, you know, they didn't really
I think
think about.
there's something in Hollywood they call it the back shell test or something like that. It's like it's a test to make sure that they have females as much as males in lead roles.
Yeah.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that is actually a thing.
Which I understand because, you know, the Time's Up movement and everything, it's all for a reason, but it's just a shame when they, like, go over the top in trying to please everybody instead of making something that's true.
I don't know about you guys, but I never saw Star Wars as having a problem with gender.
No.
Like, I always thought Leia was
she was
badass.
Yeah.
She was tough. I mean, the only kind of maybe a little bit sexist part was when Return of the Jedi and she was in the slave bikini getup.
Yeah, but come on, that's like an iconic moment.
I know,
now.
but that's like, that could be tiptoeing a little bit on the whole, like, sexist kind of way.
Yeah, why didn't they have Luke in a bikini next to Jabba the Hutt?
But yeah, I think that's this whole SJW problem now with, like, in general, with anything now.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of ruining the experience for Star Wars.
Yeah.
But anyway,
I agree.
moving on.
Yes.
We got kind of sidetracked there. So let's go to something like Rey and Luke, like that relationship. I mean, I didn't mind the relationship between them. Like, I wasn't pissed off with Luke being a grumpy old man because people do change.
Yeah.
He
just became like a bitter old lady, though.
I don't know. I think he probably just got jaded with the whole Jedi thing.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think the training, there was no training. Like,
no.
She did nothing.
She just like went onto the edge of a rock and
like just hit a rock with a lightsaber and like she kind of self-trained it.
Yeah, which she could have really done that anyway.
And then like the part with the mirror. I mean, the part with the mirror I found really interesting because I interpreted it a completely different way than everyone else did.
Is that with Kyle?
What did I think? No, the mirror part where she like goes to the dark side.
Oh yeah,
and she dives into the water and goes up and looks at the mirror. And like everyone was saying, oh, this just goes to show that the Force was telling her that her parents are unimportant. I'm like, no, I didn't see it that way.
No, neither did I.
I saw it like she saw what she needed to see.
Yeah.
And what she needed to see is that she doesn't have parents.
Yeah.
Like my theory is that she's actually born of the Force, like Anakin was.
Yeah.
So she's just appeared.
Yeah.
Which could be an explanation, like, for a lot of things, but that's what I think anyway. Some people might think that's stupid, but...
No, I think that's pretty relevant. But then the other thing that kind of annoyed me a bit was because we got so into Battlefront, and then I had high expectations thinking that would link into the movies, and lo and behold...
Yeah, well, that would have been awesome.
Yeah.
Like, Battlefront, 2 was... Like, Battlefront 1 was... It was fun.
It was good.
But it didn't
have the campaign or anything.
Didn't have a story.
Yeah.
Like a story mode.
Yeah.
Battlefront 2, though, had Iden Versio, which was awesome.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed her story.
Yeah.
I know people bagged it, but I thought it was...
No, I thought it was really good.
Anything Star Wars I'm pretty happy with, but except this, obviously. But they could have done a lot better. I mean, I think if they had linked Battlefront with the movie, that would have been... Like, it wouldn't have been revolutionary because people have done it before.
Yeah.
But it would have been awesome to see.
Just would have been a wise choice.
It would have been awesome to see.
Especially because the downloaded content was released after the movie came out, or the day before.
On the same day.
Yeah.
So, like, they kind of tease that, you know...
It had something to do with the film.
Yeah. Why else, like, release it on the same day?
Yeah, exactly. Which is why, I don't know if everyone else kind of thought that would...
I feel like
but I did.
That this whole movie was about subverting audiences' expectations. I think that's what the director was doing, Rian Johnson.
Yeah.
Like, he was saying, well, this is what you all think is going to happen, but this is what I'm going to make happen.
Let's not do that.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I think I was very disappointed with the film because I spent a lot of time watching YouTube and looking at all the theories.
Yeah.
And to be honest, some of the theories were actually better than what we saw. And I think
Which
that's
is
why.
A shame. It's such...
I still like her.
Still your favourite. No, but there was just so many things that were disappointing. I got so excited when for some reason, I don't know how this would have been possible, but thinking that Snoke was Darth Vader.
I think I told you that.
You told me that, and I got so excited about it because I was like, holy shit, they're bringing him back. Like, the ultimate bad guy is back.
Like, watching Rogue One Rogue One was okay. I wasn't super
I enjoyed it.
I felt
yeah.
like Rogue One, there was a lot missing.
Yeah.
It felt like it had been cut together really quickly, and there was bits in between.
Yeah, if you watch the things that didn't make it into that film, it would have been so much better had they left them in there.
Well, that's the thing. Like, they changed the movie, like 40% of the movie, because it was too dark, and this was a direction from Kathleen Kennedy, who's from Lucasfilm. But if we'd seen the movie that the director had intended to actually film, it would have been amazing.
So yeah,
but
would have been
anyway,
so different.
Going back to that, Darth Vader in that movie was fucking awesome. Like, he was so menacing. He was dark.
Which I guess kind of links us onto Kylo.
A little bit, because Kylo is not that.
No,
Kylo is not menacing at all. He's a whining little bitch.
Yeah,
and like
he is.
I've spoken to people that love the movie, and they're like, Kylo was so much better than Darth Vader because he actually managed to kill his master a lot earlier. Which is fair enough. He did. He killed Snoke, but
but that's just because he's like
nowhere near Darth Vader.
That's almost because he's just got daddy issues, and Snoke is like a father figure for him. So he just like wanted to be done with authority. He was rebelling, and that's what he did. Whereas I feel like Darth Vader had a respect for his trainer. I guess you could call him a trainer.
I don't know.
But I don't know. That's his master. Yeah, that's the word I was thinking of. But he had a respect for him, which is, I think, takes a bigger person to have respect for the person who gave you what you are.
I don't know. I think like Darth Vader saw how evil Sidious was, but he never worked up the nerve to confront him. No. Like, Sidious was pretty powerful. But, I mean, that's the thing with Snoke. That was probably my number one disappointment with The Last Jedi, is the Snoke basically getting killed by Kylo. Yeah. Kylo, and he's like, how did he not, like, I know that he was predicting that he was going to kill Rey and all that kind of stuff, but how did he not see it coming if he's like this almighty, powerful Sith Lord? Like, how did he not see that Kylo was going for him instead? Well, that could be the whole thing. Like, he could still be alive. Like, he could be... He was literally cut in half. He was cut in half, but, like, maybe he was a force projection, like Luke was. Yeah, true. At the very end. Yeah, but then Luke didn't, like... And, like... He just disappeared, though. He didn't, like, physically... But Snoke was, like... He was... Like, I felt like Snoke was goading Kylo the whole movie. Like, he was telling him he was such a petulant little child. He was trying to be Darth Vader, but he's not Darth Vader. Definitely not. Excuse me. I kind of feel like he was trying to get Kylo to kill him. Like, he was like always... Reckon? Yeah, I feel like he was. And I think it was part of the plan. That was part of his like training, was to like turn on him. Yeah. That to unleash his true dark side. Yeah, but he's still not intimidating enough though. No. Like, you cannot imagine Kylo Ren going to like the Jedi Sanctuary and killing all of the Jedis. Like, you just can't picture him doing something of that magnitude, because he's like, oh, kill Luke. Like, do you know what I mean? Yeah. And you always know that they're going to get away from him. Like, at the very, very last minute, they're somehow going to escape, because he's not scary enough for him to actually catch someone important and kill them. He's like, the First Order was like, they looked really menacing in the Force Awakens. Like, they were a force to be reckoned with. And that's why it was like it was a huge deal that Han Solo died. That's what I like. It was like, that one was done really, really well. They looked like they were a powerful powerhouse. Like, they were gonna fucking fuck shit up. Yeah, but then him on his own is just. But then, like, in this movie, they made fun of them straight away in the first act of the film. Like, Hux was he was a patsy the whole time. And then, like, Kylo with his little tantrums all the time. And then Snoke, obviously, dying so easily. Yeah. They weren't menacing at all. No. Which is kind of a theme going on in Hollywood at the moment. None of the villains are actually convincing. Yeah. I mean, I think they tried to do something with Kylo to make him, three-dimensional with all these kind of feelings and contradictions, but it just kind of didn't work. Just didn't achieve what they wanted it to. Didn't work. It was no Darth Vader. Oh, no. No Darth Vader. No. But we kind of like jumped way ahead in the film now. To the end. That's true. So, like, let's get back to Canto Bight. So, what do you think of the Casino Planet? I'd actually forgotten about that. Like, we said it, we talked about it already. Like, it was a pointless adventure just to get Rose and Finn to do some shit.
Oh, it was just like a little romantic getaway for them to just establish some sort of relationship that's just weird.
Yeah, it was pointless.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, the notion of it being like this, like the kids that are slaves and that little kid that's potentially a Jedi. I mean, that was pretty. That was the only thing that stood out from that part to me.
I think that's kind of setting it up for the next film. It has to do a time jump. Like, they can't start like this movie from The Force Awakens to The Last Jedi. There was no time in between. It was literally just after.
Just after, yeah.
Whereas
So what, you think the next one will be?
It'll have to be like 10 years later. Or something like that. It'll have to be.
Oh, no way.
It'll have to, because they have to rebuild a rebellion. They're not going to do a whole movie about showing them how to rebuild it. Or showing us how they rebuild it. It'll have to be like 10 years. Well, they can't. It's the end of the trilogy.
Yeah, that's true.
So they have to do a time jump. I mean, in the original Star Wars, there was a time jump between each one.
And do you reckon it will be like the rebellion going out and finding all the Jedis that are left in the galaxy?
No, I don't know.
That's kind of assuming.
It'll be like Rey walking in Luke's footsteps and trying to start her own Jedi.
Yeah, that's what
temple.
I mean. Like trying to find all the kids in the galaxy that are.
And like Rey, I don't know. Like, or Kylo. I mean, I don't know. Kylo, I don't know what they're going to do with Kylo. He's such a whingy little bitch.
Is he just going to linger in the shadows and like build a Death Star of his own and?
Which is already
all of a sudden they're back.
That's something we haven't touched upon. Like The Force Awakens, kind of. It was nostalgic because it went back to the very same, like a New Hope, basically.
Yeah.
So
it had the same sort of feel.
Yeah, they had to destroy a Death Star, which was Starkiller Base.
Yeah.
And now in The Last Jedi, it was like Rey went to get training with Luke when in The Empire Strikes Back, when Luke went to get training with Yoda.
Yeah.
And the rebels were running away from the Empire, the First Order.
Yeah.
That's the same.
Yeah.
So they're recycling all these plot points.
Which, I mean, is fine, because if it works for them, and
it's nothing new.
It's a little bit, it's a bit repetitive.
This one, I don't know, it's really hard to gauge this movie, because it tried to do a lot of new stuff, but then recycled a lot of the old stuff, which was kind of annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it'd be awesome if they did something completely...
They had so much to work with.
Unexpected.
Like, so much to work with.
Yeah, they did.
And they just completely, like... disregarded most of it.
They just,
They're like...
very narrow.
Yeah. They didn't...
kept it very...
Yeah, they didn't use the lore that is available in Star Wars, which is like heaps. Like even the expanded universe, it goes on forever. There's a story for everyone.
Yeah.
And they didn't use any of that.
Yeah.
I don't think. They tried to do something new, but kind of failed.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, but look, going like the hyperspace jump at the very end when Holdo does
that was awesome.
That was visually amazing.
That was my favourite part of the film.
Like the sound design, like it's the only part in the movie that's completely silent.
Yes.
It's like... That's
true.
It was awesome. It looked awesome.
Yeah.
But then again, like same thing as gravity in space. If they could do that, why didn't they do that to the Death Star?
Yeah.
In the first...
So many plot holes.
I mean, yeah, it doesn't make sense.
No.
I mean, I'm sure they'll come up with an excuse or a reason why they did it.
Oh, we couldn't do it because...
yeah, something.
Yeah, that's true.
But it looked awesome.
It did. That honestly was my favourite part of the film.
Like, I think for me, if I had to summarise it right now, before we get to the end of it, I'd say I really appreciate the new direction, or where they tried to take it.
Yeah.
But there was so many plot holes, so many dropped subplots from The Force Awakens, that I can't say it's a good movie. Even though it's Star Wars, and I love Star Wars.
Yeah. Well, it was an enjoyable film.
Yep.
And I think the way that they kind of did it is to, I don't know, with the Porgs and everything, I guess it was trying to bring in a younger generation. Like, they're trying to appeal to a younger generation of Star Wars. They're not...
Porgs, that was just a money grab.
Yeah, because of merchandise.
Merchandise, which is failing at the moment.
Yeah,
so.
But, you can see that that's what they're kind of trying to do. Whereas if they had gone, like you said before, if they had gone in, like, a darker direction with...
Rogue One,
yeah, and if they had kind of done the same sort of thing with The Last Jedi, they would have made, the people who had watched Star Wars like us, like from when we were kids, like the older generations, much more happy. It's probably why everyone around our generation has so many
issues with it.
Yeah, problems.
I don't think, it wasn't made for fans. I think that's the bottom line.
Yeah.
It wasn't made for fans.
No,
It was
just trying to.
It was made to try and appeal to people that aren't fans. And I think something to mention always is the Rotten Tomato score, which is really controversial at the moment.
Yeah.
The top critics rate it like 91% at the moment, and I checked it yesterday, and like the audience score is 49%. So, and
yeah, it's a big difference.
I kind of feel like the top critics, they're not Star Wars fans. They're not hardcore.
No, they're just people that are analysing it as a film.
I mean, these people are analysing new films every day.
Yeah.
I mean, they're probably not going to be a fan, like a hardcore fan of a franchise.
Yeah.
They're just there to give you an
idea. Some might, but the majority, I'd say, are people that are literally critically analysing it from just a film on its own.
Yeah.
Or like,
they're not invested in the backstory.
Exactly. Yeah.
They're invested in they see the movie and they give it an opinion.
Yeah. Exactly.
Whereas the audience score kind of shows people that are invested in the story and the backstory of like where it started and where it's come to, and just don't appreciate where it's come to, basically. But but we kind of did another side step and went straight to the end. But there was still some stuff I want to talk about, like Finn when he was going through the the laser beam, just about to sacrifice himself and save everyone that was in that little hideout.
Just let him. My gosh.
And Rose comes in and
dumb. Why didn't she just sacrifice herself? Like, stupid.
Look, I think there was two ways they could have played it. That would have been better.
Yeah.
I think if Finn had actually gone through with it and he had actually sacrificed himself.
Yeah.
Imagine the arc that Rey would go on.
Her emotions.
Yeah, like she would go. I would bet that she would go to the dark side.
That's something that would be so interesting to watch.
Yeah, she would go to the dark side mainly because she would want to get revenge against the First Order, and because of the First Order, Kylo.
Yeah, which would give her more reason to hate him.
That would be like. That would be so much more interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, it would suck for Finn. Obviously, he's a great character.
Oh, but like,
I really
decent
do like
sacrifice
Finn.
to make.
But that would be so much more emotionally,
Yeah.
If he I was in the cinema when it was happening, I'm like, oh shit, he's gonna die.
Yeah,
he's gonna die.
that was like
he better not
actually
die.
exciting. Yeah.
And then if he did die, I would have been devastated, but I would have been like,
it would have salvaged a bit.
Man, I would have felt like this movie really had a punch.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, they've never done that before.
Yeah, but then that's like they don't want to be dark, like what we were talking about before.
But that would have been so awesome.
It would have been awesome.
But another way they could have played it and still had him live, if he had been going down that beam. Yeah. And then Rose decided, well, if you're going, I'm going too.
And then he bails last minute.
And no.
He's like, no, just kidding.
No, if he had been going down the beam and then Rose had gone to him, look, if you're going, I'm going too. He would feel super guilty.
Yeah.
And he'd be like, no, I can't let her sacrifice herself. This is something I want to do. And then he turns away and takes her out.
Knocks her out and then goes in.
And they both knock out.
Oh, okay.
So they both don't take the beam.
Yeah.
And then they could still have that scene where she's like, she could say that stupid line about, you don't... Yeah. I'm not going to even repeat it.
Yeah, I did.
She could have that stupid line and it would still be... that would still be better. I think that's how they could have done that scene and had not so many people pissed off.
This is how I would have done it. I would have had Finn try to be brave and then her take his place. And just... Because she's so unnecessary.
Yeah.
She's so unnecessary.
I think it could have been a lot more interesting.
Yeah.
It could have been a lot more interesting.
Her character just baffled me because...
Well, that and... there's a few characters that were misused.
Yeah.
Completely misused. I mean, her sister at the beginning was awesome. She sacrificed herself.
Yeah.
That was an awesome arc.
See? Even better. Why wouldn't she just, live up to what her sister did and sacrifice herself as well?
Well, she did. And, she tells Finn that you don't... I don't know. I can't remember what the exact line was.
Yeah.
But you don't kill what you hate, you save what you love.
Yeah.
And, her sister did the exact opposite. She sacrificed herself
for a greater good. Yeah.
So she's kind of saying that she didn't
believe in what her sister did.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But there was definitely misused characters. Rose could have been a lot more interesting.
What was she doing? Wasn't she
I don't know. She was just checking that people weren't jumping off shit at some point. That was her role in the entire movie. and then somehow she
But then
knew,
she knew how to pilot.
Then
like,
somehow she knew how to check like tracking systems and how they would be tracking them through hyperspace and blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
And that was very convenient.
Yeah, that was.
But seriously underused characters. So R2D2, he was basically a projector for the whole movie.
Yeah,
like
he just reminded Luke.
Came up for about a minute total, just to act as a projector.
Yeah.
So Chewbacca, he was basically Rey's Uber. So he was like a tuber, which is something that I think people should do. Like, people should dress up as Chewbacca and offer people Uber rides, because that would be fucking awesome. I would take that.
No, I wouldn't.
I don't use Uber.
I definitely wouldn't.
Why not?
Because it would be scary as getting... Well, I mean, I love Chewbacca, but what if the person's a serial killer and they're just like, I'm just your tuber, but I'm going to kill you.
Yeah, but that's the same as normal Uber.
Yeah,
You don't know if the person's going to kill her.
Yeah.
Am I right? Am I right? Okay, so...
Anyway, yeah.
Completely underused. And then, obviously, Benicio del Toro.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So disappointed with that.
What was he?
Yeah, such a great actor.
Even the worst one is freaking Captain Phasma.
Which one's that one again?
From Game of Thrones.
Oh, yes. Yes. Didn't even know it was her.
Captain Phasma?
I didn't, until after, and I knew she was at the premiere and stuff.
Yeah.
But I honestly did not know that was her.
Okay.
Because you never see her face.
No, you don't see her face.
So how are you to know, that it's her? Like, the girl from...
It's Brie.
I know, she's the best. But...
Seriously underused.
So she showed up. That's what I mean. Like, I didn't even,
She showed up at the end just
forgettable. Just completely forgettable.
And
I didn't remember it.
I mean, I've read the comics and she's badass in the comics, but...
Yeah.
If you have to read the comics to find out what the character's like, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Didn't sit well with me that she would just show up to...
Because she was good in The Force Awakens, how...
No, she wasn't.
She wasn't in it?
She was in it for, a few... out of the entire movie, she was in that for about 2 minutes, probably.
Well, I remember her from Force Awakens. I don't remember her from Last Jedi.
Just to go in the trash compactor.
Yeah, I don't remember her.
And The Last Jedi, she was there literally for the same amount of time.
See, but that's bad.
That's criminal underuse of a great actor.
Yeah.
So.
Very true.
I don't know. Maybe they're gonna give all these characters spin-offs. Maybe they'll give them all spin-offs.
Don't. Seriously.
Well, there is rumour that Obi-Wan is going to have a spin-off soon.
Oh, I'd watch that.
I would watch it if it had Ewan McGregor again.
Without him?
No, with
Ewan
McGregor.
Okay, yeah,
with Ewan
for
McGregor
sure.
as Obi-Wan.
He was great.
That would be an awesome movie if they did it properly.
Yeah, which is a big if.
I mean, there's a lot of rumour about the Han Solo movie that's coming out that it's already going to be a bomb. Like, Disney's
very intrigued.
Disney is already expecting it to bomb.
Yeah.
Which is not always good. But then again, that could be bullshit from Disney, because they came out saying that Rian Johnson's he's got a trilogy now from the Star Wars film, just because of the Star Wars film. I personally think it was a marketing ploy.
Yeah.
To try and get people confident about The Last Jedi. Yeah. Just to say that it is really amazing.
Yeah.
But I think they're not going to...
So now they're doing the opposite with the Han Solo movie and saying, it's really bad, but it's going to actually be awesome.
Well, I don't know. It could still be really bad. I think it's still going to be really bad.
Yeah, I
don't know.
I won't have high hopes.
You don't know what to trust anymore. It's all marketing bullshit.
It's true.
But yeah, so at the end of The Last Jedi, I kind of felt coming out, I had a lot of mixed feelings.
Yeah.
And I've got to admit, I spent a lot of time watching reviews on YouTube to see what other people thought and to see if I was the only one.
Yeah.
But I was glad to see that I wasn't the only one. There was a lot of hardcore fans that did feel the same way.
Yeah.
And I have to admit, there's heaps of people that have just started on YouTube just because of this film.
Yeah, well, that's like us, really.
It's like exactly us. This film has actually motivated a lot of people to voice their opinions.
Yeah.
And hopefully we're heard. I mean,
but
I don't think
it makes a difference to how they...
I don't think it will, but it's still good to find people that think the same way.
Yeah.
So.
Agreed.
I think that brings the end to our first review.
I think it does.
That was pretty good, actually. I didn't feel that uncomfortable about it. So. So
No, we did good.
thanks for tuning in, guys. This
Yeah.
is our first review of The Last Jedi.
There'll be many more to come.
Yeah,
Make sure you subscribe.
Please follow us, and
Yeah.
we'll keep going with these reviews.
Yeah, we won't stop
I think we love doing this.
till we're bitter and old.
We have these
We're already
conversations all the time, so we thought we might as well
Yeah.
just record them. All right. Thanks for tuning into the Movie League.
Bye.
Have a great day.